So is anybody else surprised by what Nikon just did? Now, this is going to be a very different kind of video than you're used to seeing of me, as this is going to be unscripted and mostly unedited, where I talk directly to you in what I'm calling my camera chat. And I'm aiming to have these weekly along with my other normal, highly edited and highly scripted videos. So let's just chat. Okay, if you've seen any of my other videos, they're highly scripted and highly edited. And I had this idea that I wanted to do like a live camera chat where I'm talking unscripted and mostly unedited videos where I'm just talking about what I'm doing and giving you some background to my videos so I can connect to you a little bit more. And this is really difficult because I'm so used to like talking while reading a teleprompter that I don't actually know what I'm going to say, and that's a little terrifying. When I started YouTube, I used to only do unscripted. So this is like a live chat that's not live. And there's been some big news, some camera chat news. So I want to do these videos where I can discuss cameras, and then maybe the week prior, if I can do this weekly, you guys can ask questions and I'll try to answer those questions the following week. But I've got a bunch of videos that are in the works now, and one is my Nikon ZF video. And I started to really sort of fall for Nikon recently, and I started in Nikon. And if you heard the news today that Nikon just acquired Red, it got me really thinking that like maybe I'm picking up a trend here that I don't think I'm going to switch from Sony to Nikon, but I may be more likely to now sort of buy some Nikon glass. And maybe I was even looking at the Nikon ZF-C, which I don't think is a great camera. I love the way it looks, but I don't think it's going to be an ideal camera to have. So I would love the Nikon ZF, the full frame counterpart to that. And you'll see my review as to why I would probably own that camera and the lens that I got with it, which was nuts. So if I am going to get some Nikon glass, because maybe Nikon acquiring Red, my ideal scenario was that they would have an FX3 type cinema camera with the Red sensors that could maybe take pictures as well as be just like my FX3, a regular cinema camera that's prosumer for about $4,000 that has Red and autofocus and that dynamic range and maybe even some sort of retro styling body. I don't know, but it makes me a little bit more bullish about Nikon all of a sudden. So if I was going to have another ecosystem to get into, I was deciding, should it be Fuji, should it be Canon? And I just kept on leaning to Nikon because I started with Nikon originally. And I'll discuss all this in my review. But like I said, I have all these videos in the works. I'm currently working on a POV beach walkabout with my Sony cameras in Mauritius. And I've been doing these POV videos, if you saw the ones that I did in Dubai, that take me forever to do. Some of these videos are hundreds of hours of work to get into, which means I don't release videos very often. And I've been talking to some fellow YouTubers and friends who sort of advise me that I need to get more videos out more frequently. And I don't know how to do that unless I do something like this, which is a live chat. Now, I won't have to give background each time I do one of these where I'm telling you why I'm doing one of these. I can just release a camera chat unscripted the next week or the following week, where I can just answer your questions and sort of fill you in and have a sort of closer relationship to what's going on behind the scenes. So recently I've been traveling a lot, and this is maybe heavier conversation material than I'm used to giving. But my father was diagnosed with a very rare disease about 18 months ago, and they live in North Carolina. I'm currently in Los Angeles. So I'd been traveling about 18 times in the past 18 months, back and forth from LA to Charlotte to help my mom and to spend time with my dad. And my dad recently passed on February 10th, and it is, I don't know, March 8th or something right now. And I just went back for his service, and I didn't have to, but I did. I wrote a speech and gave a speech during the service, the funeral, which was the hardest thing that I've ever done. And I did it scripted, and I even used my teleprompter app. And it was hard. And I will say that every video that I've been working on has been sort of interrupted by these travels. And I don't regret a minute of it. I mean, if I'm going to pick spending more time with my dad or making YouTube videos, it's going to be more time with my dad, which I will no longer be able to do. So I will hopefully be able to make more of these videos and be able to focus more. I just flew back into town and I'm trying to work on videos and make ones like this. And it's hard when my brain isn't fully there and my focus isn't fully there. And again, I was working on the script for so long at my father's service that I couldn't write scripts for other things. So I've just scripted a few other videos that I'm in the process of creating A-roll. So what I do is I usually compile a lot of footage that I have an idea for a video for. I go through my footage and then I start writing the script that will coincide with the clips that I've got. And sometimes that's easier than others. Sometimes I can write the script first and then work on the B-roll after. So I think I'm most excited about this Nikon ZF review. It's a great camera with a lot of flaws that does get me to seriously think about Nikon. And this was before this was announced, the Red acquisition, or their Red acquisition. So I don't know what you guys think about Nikon. I don't know if you guys are Sony shooters or Canon shooters or Fuji or Panasonic or what. But have you guys thought about switching brands? And what do you think is going to be the future for sort of this Red and Nikon link? And I don't know, it gets me excited. And, you know, I have an addiction to too many cameras, and now I've got one more, and I have the Sony a7C II over there and the ZVE1. And I've, again, compiling hours and hours of footage to compare them because I'm eventually going to sell one. I don't know which. And I was going to use that money to buy glass. And, you know, I'm thinking that I would love to buy the 24-70 GM2, or maybe I buy a Nikon, or maybe I buy a Fuji. And we all know the Fuji X100 came out, and I was so close to pre-ordering it. I tried to get all my friends to pre-order it because I wanted to live vicariously through them because I knew it was going to sell out. And I, in a minute, was like, had it in the cart, and I didn't pull the trigger. And I'm thankful I didn't. I don't need that camera. It's cool. It's awesome. But the Nikon ZF does a lot of what I think the Fuji could do as far as the things that Sony's are missing, which is personality in the camera body, cool picture profiles. There's a lot of film simulations that the Nikons are now updating their cameras to have, and just generally using it as a hybrid camera with a great EVF, with a great monitor, which these are cool and superior image, superior autofocus, superior in every way, except for the handling of it, the coolness of it, and just some of the things that's hard to describe. So I won't drone on further. I just want to make a quick video of what I want to do in the future, where I do unscripted, just camera chats of things that are going on, current affairs as it pertains to cameras, and what my process is behind the scenes. And I will get back to more highly edited videos that I'll be doing in between these. So my quality is still going to be the same, but I wanted to do something where it's just more personal, sort of person to person, where I'm coming and talking to you, and then not just like cutting every 3 seconds with B-roll or whatever. So yeah, thank you for your time and attention. I do have a bunch more videos on the way, so consider following along and subscribing if you're not. And thank you guys. Okay, until next time. All right, bye guys.